This video is on miscellaneous books for educating your child. On the shelf, we have other videos talking about how to teach colors and good, better, best practices and how to look for good books on animals. This is about feathers, fins, and fur, a lesson on feathers, fins, and fur. You can watch that video. This one is on early readers or first words and dictionaries, what to look for. Going from teaching emotions to body parts and what's progressing. This one's on teaching quantity and symbol, their numbers, and counting. This one's on shapes, books that teach shapes, what to look for. This one's early geography. You start with seasons. There's a world atlas, but we talk about geography. This basket here is on language development with the symbol and the sound for language, so your alphabet and what to look for and how to progress through that. And then we're going to talk about these last two baskets together. And miscellaneous books. This one is teaching sign language. How fun is that? Interactive sign language. So it has an action for game, for girl, for green, and you can teach that to your child so they know some early language that doesn't have sound with it, because they might have a friend that can't actually talk and they know sign language, so you can teach that to them and have them interact with other family members and have them teach family members sign language. It's something that's really fun, and it increases their vocabulary using their body. So there's a symbol for Q, and this has unfortunately the uppercase, which is secondary. You always teach lowercase primary, but at least the words have lowercase. So you can teach quiet and the reading symbol. This is a fabulous book. So sign language is an option of things that you can teach your child. These other books, never stay away. If you can find a good deal secondhand or even afford just to go out and buy adult books that have a ton of real pictures of butterflies and birds and dogs. Take your child to a bookstore and let them pick one out and learn to sit and look through a book slowly with concentration and care of the material. So model that to your child. If you go to a bookstore, whether it's Barnes & Noble or Half Price Books, sit and turn the pages carefully. Don't do this, but however you want your child to interact with a book, you want to show them that. So turning the pages. You can sit there and talk to them about the caterpillar and the butterfly and the spider. Ooh, isn't that pretty? What colors? If they know their colors, have them talk about the pictures with you. You want them to see you interested in the facts of the book, all aspects. Okay, so this book is more of an illustrated book. But it's cool. It's talking about bugs. It's by Reading Rainbow. Bugs. It teaches the parts, the thorax, the abdomen, and it has lowercase words so it can grow and have longevity with your child. This is about a flea. And if you have a cat, you can show them the flea on the cat. If your cat has fleas, so it's an outside cat. A mosquito. So when a mosquito lands on them, they can start to understand the different parts to a mosquito. Hopefully they won't sit there and let it draw blood, but a cricket. So things that teach all aspects of it. Caves. It also talks about animals that live in caves. Penguins live in caves. Caves made of ice. Caves under the water. So realistic pictures. This one's by Rigby, so really good book. Snakes. Getting books that teach unsafe spiders or snakes that they need to be aware of in your environment. I live in Texas, so you need to have a book about snakes to teach them what to look for in a safe snake or not. Very, very good lesson. So I would highly recommend, to teach them, what colors to be a little bit nervous about and careful, and don't even go close to the animals. Which things can hurt them or poison them. If you're in Texas, you don't have to worry about a king cobra, but if you're in India, you do. So talk about where they're located. You can get out a globe and talk about where these are located. So always interact with your child. A book is a flat, inanimate object until you bring it to life. So you can talk about snakes. You can have a fake snake and have them play with it. So bring books to life, in how you interact with it. Talk about what they eat and so on. So those are some miscellaneous books as examples. Go to a bookstore. Find out what your child has an interest in. If they're drawn to books with birds or, cats, whatever, let them be imaginative and find books that, they're interested in, and make reading fun and interactive. Not something they do in a corner by themselves, but that it's growing vocabulary and communication skills. So it takes another person with them to do that. When you read, use voice inflection. If you've never read to a child, then go watch YouTube videos on how to read to a child, and there's probably a billion of them, and make it fun, interactive. Ask questions about the pictures. So that's miscellaneous books and some ideas of what to look for. Hope that was helpful.